Go.
That's me.
I think they're there.
I would say go for it.
Perfect. We're gonna go ahead and go for it. So. You click on the,
Click on this.
Yep. There we go. This is super exciting. That's a lot of highlighted yellow. If we can move.
Oh, sorry. I forgot.
So within the Carolinas region, I mean, this is awesome to see how many of our representatives are in the top 10. We've got 2 agents in the top individual, 2 teams in the top 10, and 2 groups, and 50% of the expansion teams are out of our offices. That's really, really exciting to see. So keep up the hard work. Next month, we're gonna have 30% in each category. So I love seeing that. We have I really want to thank John and the ALC Education Committee and Mike for putting this on. We have a team mastermind that's going to be happening on April 19th, in the West Ashley office held by Shakima. And John and Mike are going to run the individual mastermind out of here on April 24th from 12 to 1. The last time we did that was a pretty high level conversation. So super exciting. I want you guys to all be there, whether you're on a team or you're an individual agent or you're running a team. Please go to those masterminds. I hope you guys all are getting something out of it.
Help us.
What John said. Perfect. So mark that on your calendar. Take a photo if it's not already there.
Me.
Tiffany's got something to say.
Hi, everyone. So if you are in the West Ashley office, you know that several months ago, we switched over to a new system, so commissions looks different, blah, 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 all that stuff. Stuff got a little crazy there for a minute and we fixed a bunch of things. Good news is we are now in group 3 for Mount Pleasant. And so we are going to be transitioning the Mount Pleasant office over into the new transaction system. Good news for you. What that means is now when you do commission requests, instead of like 4 pages of like putting a bunch of information that no one's using, it's going to go down to 1. It's also going to start showing you your cap in real time once you submit commission requests, which is hopefully 48 hours after a ratified contract, since that's the law, and not 24 hours after the closing, like most of it. So that would be helpful. So what that does mean though, in the short term, is that if you have commissions or closings that are happening between now and May 10th, I need commission requests ASAP. If we don't have a commission request, especially from the May 1 to May 10, we will not be able to close your transaction until May 10. So it will delay your payment. So I know, and we're gonna reach out to the individual ones, especially teams. I think we've reached out to y'all just in the amount that you do. We can make any changes in the moment, but if we don't have all of those things by the end of April, then we're not gonna be able to transport it into the new system. Yeah, Heidi.
If we use external closers like Megan to do the commission part, will you be notifying them as well, or we need to?
We can notify them as well. We'll send them an email as well. Most of them have also already done the transition with a lot of the West Ashley teams that they work with, so they are probably already familiar with the new system. So, so just know that you'll see a little bit of changes. We're very excited. It just brings us.
Startup plan too.
Yeah, it's gonna be inside command. So now, like, we've been using an MS-DOS Windows, like, you know, the black screen green writing type program to do all of our transactions. So everything you do, we have to transpose into our AD system, and then transmittals, the whole thing, whatever. This makes everything easier. Everything's gonna be in command. Your data is gonna be able to stay even more inside a program in command that's with KWI and not just some external program. And if the server crashes, everything's saved and we don't have big problems anymore. So it makes Sarah and I's job a lot easier so that we have more time to service y'all and help y'all in any way. So if you guys have any questions on like how that experience has gone, call the West Ashley agent. They have experienced it. And we were part of the first 7 and now we're in group 3 for the others. So we're very excited that everyone is going to be in the same system here starting May 10th. So that's it.
Does anybody miss green sheets?
Oh, green cheese.
We can go back to green sheets if this doesn't work. That's the other option.
Yeah.
Funny joke for those tenured. Red Day, we'll go back. So we have our ALCs put on, we have Red Day coming up. And they have put on a super exciting event, and they're gonna go over, they're gonna talk about it for you guys. But what's super, what I love so much about this event is we are going to be able to, 1, pour into the community. If we don't know what Red Day is where we close down every Keller Williams office in the entire country and go serve the community. Right, so now, what they put on is we are going to get to serve the community, have a competition with inside the office, and if done right, you get to dive into your database, and talk to the people that you haven't talked to in a long time. So I will let them come up and talk about it.
Look at me warning before I start food now.
Oh, wow. Sarah, where my shirt?
Well, thank you, I appreciate
Yes,
it.
thank
Yeah,
you.
of course I noticed, thank you. I was gonna say, I'm looking at the rest of the ALC members, Ben included. So, hey guys, I know some of y'all, if I have not had the pleasure of meeting you, my name is Sarah Picard. I'm in the West Ashley office and I serve the ALC. And I work with Desiree running the social committee.
And I'm Celeste Shoemate, also in the West Ashley office.
I'm Shantae Footman. I'm here with you guys in Mount Pleasant. Celeste and I are, come on, Mount Pleasant. Celeste and I are culture committee.
Wanna start?
Yeah, okay, so we are working really closely this year to do Red Day. Red Day is Thursday, May 9th. Mark your calendars. Keller Williams across the country closes, and we give back to the community that we live in. So this year, we're doing something a little bit different, and we are really asking for everyone's participation. We're gonna make it super easy for everyone to participate. We are going to we're gonna get a lot of food, and we're gonna fill all the blessing boxes. The overage is going to,
Food bank.
yes, the food bank.
Yeah, okay. So really what we're looking at is having as big of essentially a canned food drive, non-perishable food drive as possible. So what does that look like for you guys? How does that come into play? So today we're 3 weeks away exactly, and we're actually gonna turn it into a little bit of a competition. So everybody in the offices is going to be broken out into a team. You are going to have a member on the ALC be your team leader. So watch out for communication coming from them today. It'll be a team of about 20 to 30 agents. You're going to be working together to collect and bring into the office as many canned food or really just other non-perishable items that we can put into blessing boxes across the low country. So our goal over the next 3 weeks is to start bringing that in so that we can start weighing the items, because that is how we are going to determine the winner. Whoever's team brings in the most weighed items wins the competition. So when we actually go to like Red Day, what we're gonna do is we're going to go to our individual offices. And you are going to bring all of the items together and with your team, weigh out the items, package them, and then be giving a blessing box like location to disperse just throughout the low country. So we are gonna be meeting in Mount Pleasant, West Ashley, and Parkway. And you are gonna be working with your teams to make sure that each blessing box is filled. How does this benefit you, but also potentially your clients? I think is another aspect that we were really looking at. This is a great way for you to reach out to your clients or your sphere and say, hey, I'm throwing a canned food drive. We're doing it for Red Day. Explain what Red Day is, get them involved. I've already started reaching out to my clients and they've been super excited to give back. I've had people texting me saying, I already have my cans. When can you pick them up? So this is a great way for you to actually reach out to people in your database, work on your D2, and get connected and then get them involved, because obviously the competition aspect is going to be how many cans can we get so that we're giving back to the low country. After that, the plan is to come back to the West Ashley office. We want to have a food truck of some sort so we can all come together, have lunch, announce which, excuse me, which team is the winner. And then also have a blood drive as well as animal shelter options, which I'll let Shantae talk about in a little bit, leading into a happy hour for the day. So that is kind of like a little outline of what we want the day to look like. But there are gonna be some other opportunities for servicing the Charleston area. So Shantae, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so we're gonna go to the animal shelter. We're gonna do 2 shifts there, 10 a.m. to noon, 12 people max, and then from 1 till 3, 12 people max there. And we're just gonna help with the animal shelter. If you have like meaty treats that you want to provide, we can put that inside the boxes, as well as squishy toys is what they're needing. So we're trying to do something for everyone to participate. So animal lovers, no sinuses, come out to the animal shelter. And that's what we'll do on that day on Red Day.
Which animal shelter?
It's the Charleston Animal Shelter, the same one that we did last year.
Yeah.
So, you know, we really wanted to do something that encompasses everyone, that is easy for folks in Somerville that don't have to come to Mount Pleasant or West Ashley. So everyone can do this. Everyone has the opportunity to reach out to their clients and talk about something other than real estate. And then also, you know, this is gonna give you a ton of like social media opportunities, like during the day as well. So it's really also helping put you in front of your sphere without just talking about real estate. Yeah. And then the blood bank too. We will have the blood bank truck at the West Ashley office in the parking lot.
Yeah, I think our goal is also like at the end of the day is to just really make the focus on how can we spread the like Red Day Keller Williams presence throughout the Low Country, and this is just such a big way to do it. And so we want to be able to hit as many blessing boxes as possible. I know Desiree, who is in Florida right now, said there's a ton that she sees that are often quite empty. And so this is our chance to just overflow it and get the word out there, and have a little fun doing it. So competition, obviously, we want to have a little bit of a competitive edge. What is, you know, the team gonna win? So we kind of put our heads together as an ALC and talked about what it would be something we could offer the winning team. One, you're gonna have to participate to be included. So if you are an ALC member, you have to make sure that you're every person in your team, in order to be a part of like winning, they have to bring in at least 10 pounds of canned food to participate. And then as far as winning, we have kindly asked Joseph and Vince to hold a private mastermind for the winning team and for lunch to be provided with those that are on the team as a chance to really just sit down with them and pick their brains and have a wonderful, fabulous meal provided for them in one of the offices. Anything else that I think we missed?
And 10 pounds is not a lot for real estate agents who don't do math. That's just about one bag. Calm down. Everyone. Yeah, I mean, two sugars.
Yeah.
Literally. So.
Exactly, but.
Okay.
Even better.
Super easy.
Tapping into,
Kilograms.
Yeah.
don't confuse us more. 3%, right? So, yeah, you know, we're trying to tap into our competitive edge as well. We did this a couple years ago for Thanksgiving and really donated a ton back to the community. So we want to do the same thing this year.
Yeah. Only last thing, oh, sorry.
Sign up for the water truck or just walk up?
I'll get an answer.
It's probably gonna be a sign up for all things, but we'll do a Google for the animal shelter as well. And then only 2 more points and then we'll get out your way, guys. So for the blood drive, normally they give us cash for donating. We're gonna have all proceeds go to KW Cares. That's the first thing that you know. And the other thing is when you're doing the canned goods, if we can kind of be cognitive about some people who get them are like literally have no can openers. So if we can do things that are easy to open, like sardines or little tuna, something with a pop top that some people who don't have can openers can really access.
And
Or bring can openers.
be good. And then we are also going to get some bags, just some, you know, like grocery store bags. However, if you have some, if you want to go ahead and start bringing stuff in, bring it in, put it in a bag. We're gonna staple it, put your name on it, and then it will be weighed, but to, you know, keep it fair and no one cheating. You know, don't just come bring a bunch of food and it'll need to be in a bag.
Also, if you're bringing a pellet from Costco of like canned food,
Please
just like let us know so we can plan accordingly.
I mean, it's encouraged.
Yeah,
Or let
please.
me know and I won't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any yeah,
So when did we find out who our leaders are?
today. Yep, I have all that information, so you'll be getting an email from your team, or I will send it to everyone directly.
And my team will win, guys. If you have.
No,
My
I've
team-
already got my clients on board. So we're ready, we're excited for the competition, but also for a chance for us to really give back to the Low Country, especially as inflation continues to wreak havoc for the people in our area. So thanks, guys, and we're excited to see y'all in 3 weeks.
There's, when you're calling through, A relatively powerful script when you're calling through these people is it doesn't have to just be your sphere. Right, a script that I would use is the person you met at an open house 4 years ago that you haven't contacted because you met them at an open house 4 years ago, and we didn't do our job to follow up or stay in touch with them. Is, hey, this is Ben over at Keller Williams Charleston. We met at an open house 4 years ago. I know you don't remember me and I know you already bought a house and this is not about that. But our company is doing a canned food drive. I would love the opportunity. Yeah, I would love the opportunity to have you participate. Is there anything way I can count on you for some canned foods or some non-perishables? Ask them that. It's a lot easier call than saying, hey, this is Ben over at Keller Williams Charleston. I haven't done my job for the past 4 years. Have you bought a house?
Yeah.
To reignite that conversation. It's a good way to get into the bottom of that database, those non-Mets, those Mets that will become non-Mets because we've not stayed in touch. So
Hey, let's go feed Charleston.
let's go feed Charleston. So, we've got two other things, but I read, my dad gave me this book when I was a freshman in high school and made me read it like 4 or 5 times. And I was going through our storage unit and I found it and I've kind of forgotten all about it. And I said, well, let me flip through it as we do, we look at our old highlighted notes and there were some this book has so many scripts. And I was like, it talks about on like the last page that you need to read this book 5 or 10 times. You know, you do it once, you listen to a song once, you like it. You listen to a song 5 times, you can sing it. And you listen to it 10 times, you can sing it and it becomes memory.
I can't.
You can't, neither can I. Well, I thought this book had not, I was going through it and it's like, oh, this is just another book that's out on my shelf. And then I started reading, this is so much of this book had become internalized. So I wanted to show a couple highlights for you. That I had seen, but the first one, the most powerful one, especially when we're talking about asking our database for canned food, it says, if you feel in any way awkward about asking your customers for the favor.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
if you feel in any way awkward about asking your customers for this favor, I challenge you that your relationship with them is weak. So weak that your competition could earn their business. So if you feel in any way uncomfortable or awkward about asking somebody for canned foods or referral, I would challenge you that relationship is not strong enough and somebody else can become that person. The next one I loved was persistency and consistency are the secrets. Don't do anything once and then sit back and wait. You must keep plugging without expectation. If you've read another book called Chop Wood, Carry Water, it talks about surrendering the outcome. Just stay focused, continue to do what you're doing, no expectations, and the results will come. The other one, the more value you provide, the less price matters. As we go into these commissions in July, the more value you provide, the less price matters. The next one, they don't want your sales pitch. They want answers to their situations and their concerns. So when you're talking to your consumer, figure out what is their problem? What are they wanting to accomplish? Don't just sit there and sell them. Ask them and try to resolve those problems. If you make a sale, you earn a commission. If you make a friend, you can earn a fortune. One sale, one time is one commission. One friend for a lifetime is a lifetime of those. So if you can make a sale, you can earn a commission. If you make a friend, you earn a fortune. This one is my favorite. Making people smile or laugh puts them at ease and creates an atmosphere more conducive for agreement. Making people laugh and smile is the key. And then this is another one that I absolutely love, but professional salespeople tend to lose to friendly salespeople. The professional person often loses to the friendly person. So this is a great book. There's a lot of scripts about leaving voicemails and different things in it, and it's a super easy read and it's super friendly. Like, it's not like I gotta sit there and it's a boring book. There's pictures.
It's a comic book.
So, if you can pick it up, it's on Amazon right now for $21, but this is a really, really cool book, if you get a chance to dive into it. So those are some of my favorite highlights from it. Now, we are gonna dive into this. If you all have a white piece of paper in front of you.
Yeah. But not that shape.
But not that shape. But what I'm gonna ask you is to draw that shape. Okay? I've got markers. If you don't have a pen, I got markers. Marker.
I wanted to put the camera is right there, like looking at me.
When I first got the email,
But
I was like, this is one of the first involved.
but I was like, no, not on the other screen, like it's turned around. On the phone.
You're gonna want to make it the size of the page. You're gonna want to be able to write. That's perfect.
Great.
How we show them, everybody that? Depending on your writing size, but that's perfect. It's a perfect example. How do you interact with this? So what I want you guys to do, that exercise should have taken 10 seconds. So what I want you
Very
guys to
chatty
do
today.
Really giving us a lot.
is I want you guys to write your goals, not what your current goals are for this year, but I want you to write the goals that you wrote, and you set for yourself in December. You went in, you spent so much time in December business planning, setting our goals for 2024. I want you to write those goals on inside that home plate,
Building it up or near the top? or-
just wherever. That's the only thing we're gonna write. But I want you to write your goals that you had already come into 2024 with.
So you would pen for two.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Your goals that you had set for 2024, not where they currently sit, right? We adjust our goals sometimes, but I want you to write the goals that you had set for yourself at the beginning of the year. Does that make sense? I know there's a difference. Mine are different too, and we're gonna talk about that. So if you set your goal, if your current goal is I want to sell 12 million, but in December it was I want to sell 15 million, I want you to write 15 million down. Not your current goal, but the goal that you set for the beginning of the year. The commitment you made that you were gonna do. We'll take 60 seconds to fill that out. And we'll dive in.
We're just putting this anywhere.
We're just gonna write it in there. That's the only thing that we're gonna write on this is the goals that we set at the beginning of the year for 2024. I want to sell 15 million in real estate. I want to lose 30 pounds. I want to work out 4 times a year. I want to save $10,000 a month. Those goals. Okay? I'll do 30 more seconds. Thirty more seconds.
I haven't been on.
Give it 15 more seconds.
Mine was definitely shaped that way, to write it anywhere.
It's a great question.
Are you gonna answer?
I am. There is. All right. So I'm gonna read a story to you guys, and I don't know how to pronounce this guy's last name, and I've tried 1,000 times, so we're gonna call him Coach S. All right? But in 1996, Coach S was a 78-year-old and 5 years retired from his college coaching career that began in 1948. He shuffled to the stage at an impressive standing ovation, wearing dark polyester pants, a light blue shirt, and a string around his neck from which a home plate hung, a full-sized, stark white home plate. And after speaking for 25 minutes, he said, "You're probably wondering why I'm wearing a home plate. Or maybe you think I just escaped from the local mental institution." As his voice said, and a laughter came over the crowd, acknowledging the possibility. He said, "No," he continued, "I may be old, but I'm not crazy. The reason I stand before you today is to share with you, baseball people, what I've learned in my life, what I've learned about home plate in my 78 years." Several hands went up as when Coach asked how many Little League coaches were in the room. Do you know how wide the home plate is in Little League? After a pause, someone offered 17 inches. More question than an answer. "That's right," he said. How about in Babe Ruth's era? Any Babe Ruth coaches in the house?" Another long pause. 17 inches? Came a guess from another reluctant coach. "That's right," said Coach S. Now, how many high school coaches do we have in the room? Hundreds of hands shot up as the pattern began to appear. How wide is your home plate in high school baseball? 17 inches, they said, sounding more confident. You're right, Coach S barked. And you college coaches, how wide is home plate in college? 17 inches, we said in unison. Any minor league coaches, how wide is home plate in pro ball? 17 inches. Right. And in the majors, how wide is home plate in the major leagues? 17 inches. 17 inches, he confirmed, his voice bellowing off the walls. And what do they do with big league pitchers who can't throw the ball over 17 inches? He paused. They send them back to the minors, he hollered. What they don't do, they don't say, it's okay, Jimmy, you can't hit a 17-inch target. We'll make it 18 inches or 19 inches. We'll make it 20 inches so you have a better chance of hitting it. If you can't hit that, let us know and we'll make it wider, say 25 inches. Coaches, what do we do when our best player shows up late to practice? When our team rules forbid facial hair and a guy shows up unshaven, or if he gets caught drinking, do we hold him accountable or do we change the rules to fit him? Do we widen the plate? The chuckles gradually faded as 4,000 coaches grew quiet. The fog lifting as the coach messages began to unfold. He turned the home plate toward himself, using a Sharpie, began drawing something. Then he turned to the crowd, point up, and a house was revealed, complete with freshly drawn door and 2 windows. He said, this is the problem in our homes today, our marriages, our businesses, the way we parent our kids. We don't teach accountability to our kids and ourselves, and there are no consequences for failing to meet the standards that we have set. We widen our home plate. So my challenge is, myself included, in beginning of the year, we had all of these goals and we had made a commitment to ourselves and our family. And we had all these goals and we had the plan and we knew if we executed that plan, we would accomplish those goals. Yet January 30th happens, and then February happens, and then March happens, and that goal slowly starts to become less and less because we've widened our home plate. We're not holding ourselves accountable and our fit to the commitment that we made to ourselves and our family. So I'm asking you guys, look at that goal that you set at the beginning of the year. Do not widen your home plate any further. There is so much time left in the year for you to accomplish what you promised yourself and your family that you would. Double down on the work that's required, change the plan, but do not by any means widen that home plate. And that also can work opposite. You have 17 inches. You do not have to be so hard on yourselves too. So don't narrow the plate, right? You made a commitment to yourself. You knew the actions that were necessary to achieve it. Do it. You have 3 quarters left in the year. So when you look at this, put it on your wall and make sure every day I'm not widening my home plate. I made a commitment to you guys, myself, and my family, and I'm going to go out and achieve that. Does that sound cool? Awesome. So, as we talk about widening our home plate, there's a couple of strategies that we use for check-ins, right? It's so critical that we set those goals, right? We set those goals. And we have to, at every step of the way, be checking in on those goals. Because if I write my goals on my home plate, and then December 31st rolls around and I did nothing to check in, what are the odds I hit my goals? Very little. Are there points in which throughout the year that I have to make adjustments, right? Ourselves, we're behind on our goal. So do we say, all right, you know what? Actually, we promised that we were gonna have 360 gross agents in the market center this year. Tiffany, is it cool if we drop it down to 250?
Yeah, usually dropping goals down.
Yeah.
Hits goals.
No. So we have to increase the work. We have to make those adjustments. But we have to ask ourselves questions along the way. I'm gonna let Vince in West Acton. This is where we'll have Vince talking West Acton, and I'll talk to you guys.
Unmute.
Perfect. So, but we have strategies for that. So we talk about reset. So reflect, evaluate, simplify, establish, and time block.
They have to unmute if you.
I was just letting him talk. Yeah, so he's talking there and I'll talk here.
Okay, I just have to mute you.
No, yeah, okay.
Alright.
Am I talking? Am I talking? Can you hear me?
He's muted.
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay, well, thanks for the response.
welcome.
All right. We had a lot of people over here. Delisha literally said, wow, Ben, you crushed it. The home plate concept is amazing. We cannot increase the size of our plate. We talk, as a leadership team, we talk about this a lot. Is what are the standards, right? Not rules, but what are the standards? What did we say at the beginning of the year that we wanted to do? We're 40% more likely to hit our goal when we write it down. We're 77% more likely to hit our goal when we add accountability. Thinking about our goals as standards, things that we want.
Vince. You're talking so fast. This room has requested you slow it down.
We'd love him on
You're so welcome.
Yes.
Don't eat it? Okay. What's that? What's you say? I didn't touch anything.
Now we can't hear you.
All right, so we're just gonna go, we'll let Vince will talk.
I'm going to my reset. All right, ready? So when I think about, can you hear me still?
Yes.
When I think about the size of my plate and I set that goal, I set that for a reason because I intended to have that at the end of the year. On a quarterly basis, one of the things that we do as a leadership team, or one of the things that I do for my own personal goals, and Ben has strategies as well, is I think about it as reset. And reset stands for 5 simple things. Number 1, it's reflect. So what was it that I wanted? Why did I want what I said I wrote down on my home plate? What was I going to get at the end of the day? Second, I evaluate my activities so far. When I set a goal, setting a goal just informed activities. That's all. So I want to understand over the first 3 months of this year, based on what the activities necessary for me to hit my goals that I wrote down were, did I do them? How do I feel about it? What was my challenges? What was I doing then? And be honest with yourself, right? Then I want to simplify. 90% of the time, we complicate what we have to do so that we can hit our goal. And the reason that we typically complicate things or make them complex is to justify inaction. Here's an example. Lead generation. Ultimately, I just want to talk to more people. And I say things like, I'm not going to cold call, or I created this amazing touch system and had X, Y, and Z through it, right? And then I say at the end of the day, I didn't hit my goal, but it was because all of that complicated stuff that we did justified the fact that we still didn't call them. We were reaching out. We were doing what we said we were supposed to do. We had them on a touch system, but we didn't actually do what was 100% necessary, which was make the call to the consumer or to our client. All of that other stuff was just there to create effectiveness and efficiency in making the call easier, but then we just didn't make the call, right? So simplify. At the end of the day, success lies in the simple. So simplify your plan and then establish the new plan. If I understood through my reflection, through my evaluation and my simplification, that I need to increase the activity because my goal was 6 deals in the first quarter, 6 units sold, and I'm at 3. Ultimately, I have to establish a new plan to make up that difference. So establish my new plan. And then once I establish my plan, what do I have to do? I have to assign to myself when I'm going to do it. I have to time block when I have the highest energy to do those new activities, where that fits on my calendar. 24 hours is the great equalizer. Effectively investing our time through the day is the only way that we're going to ensure that we don't widen the plate and give ourselves a bunch of excuses. So I use this strategy: reflect, evaluate, simplify, establish, and time block every quarter, sometimes every month. When I look at my 411, I use it every month to then identify, okay, what do I have to do now? This is how I feel about those particular actions. Now, how do I optimize my system so that I ensure I hit my goal? Does that make sense? All right, Mount Pleasant, back to you.
Thank you. Give him a clap. And so, we're a company of systems and models, so Vince obviously uses the reset, so I wanted to kind of show you our 5 questions as well that have been up there. Very self-explanatory, when you look at your goal, your full break. I ask myself 5 questions every month. Vince and I actually do this together weekly, but I say, what are my 5 monthly wins? And this is typically the hardest part of this whole exercise, is to give yourself 5 compliments. What are 5 things this month you did really, really well, you're proud of, to be within your home plate? The next question I ask is, where did I fail? Right? If we don't acknowledge our failure, we're destined to repeat them. So we have to keep revisiting that failure. Then I look at, what's my one major adjustment? Why am I off track? What is the major adjustment that I have to make that I'm gonna get back on track with my goal, so I don't widen my home plate? There's obviously 2 minor adjustments that we have to make as well. That are, a major adjustment would be, a minor adjustment, I look at like, I'm not finding enough time to make the prospecting window that I have, so I'm gonna try to come to the office for 30 minutes, move something around in that time block, so I have 30 minutes later. Time block. Major adjustment would be a new lead pillar, or a person, or some type of leverage. What's the major adjustment that's gonna make me getting across home plate easier? And then I ask myself, what's the story from this month? So write down, summarize the story, 2 lines that summarize that story. When you can look back and be like, all right, I have 12 chapters of this year. What was this month's chapter? So I can look back and say January, we came out of the gate swinging, we prospect like crazy, we scheduled a ton of appointments, and then we kind of failed off towards the end because time got busy. You want to make sure you don't have the same chapter in your book twice. So that's how we do it. And 2 different models, but you absolutely need to be constantly checking in with yourself, so you have yourself that 17-inch home plate.
Hey, Ben, I have a question.
Yep.
Business planning clinic comes every October.
Business
some
planning,
would say.
yep,
And so it's only April. That's like 6 months.
yeah.
What could be coming to Charleston that maybe would help us out before that?
Tiffany,
Do you know?
if this is planning, come.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much for asking. Hi, my name's Tiffany Davis. I'd like to tell you about what's coming up. Our awesome broker in charge, Joseph Klosik, is actually going to be doing the final or first, I don't know, it's on the end. The workshop series that's been happening every single month. It's been the second Monday. It is business planning clinic, so it's gonna be a refresher. It's gonna be in the West Ashley office. I just had the date. It is the second Monday, so I think that's the 13th. Whatever, the 13th, it's on the calendar already. It's gonna be in the West Ashley office from 1 to 3. So
You should be there.
it's like if you needed a check-in,
We've got one.
one's already there for you.
And we're not waiting until 8, so you can just be like, all right, you know what, this is gonna be my business plan for 2025.
So thank you for asking. I'm glad you
Thank you so much for answering the question.
You're welcome.
So, to give you guys some time back, these are what we have today. Are there any questions that we have, for the remainder of team meeting? Awesome. Do you guys want to do a fun exercise?
Yes.
Awesome.
Has this not been fun already?
Perfect. So I've got tape.
Oh,
What did you got?
Because we just talked about being off track of our goals, I want to leave here with a positive mindset. And because we aren't unfortunately gonna have bold this month, we're gonna talk about what we do in step 8. So I want you to take a piece of paper.
how about the piece of paper they wrote on already?
Great idea, Tiffany. And you're gonna have somebody tape it to your back.
Oh, I love this thing.
Yeah. And you're gonna walk around and you are going to write something nice about somebody on their back. They can take it and they can feel good about themselves when they leave here. If you don't know that person, tell them how they make you feel. But write something nice about somebody. I want you to have done 400 people. Push yourself to something you don't talk to on a regular basis. And we're gonna leave here in a positive energy. How's that sound?
Me.
Claire, you're not leaving. You're not leaving.
There is another roll of paper.
Right here. And that's how we're gonna end team meeting. So make sure you walk around, say something nice. Let me pause real quick. I have to pause this real fast. What I love so much about this exercise is we feel like it may make us feel like this is corny or cheesy. There are people in this market center have this framed in their, in front of their desk.
Where's that?
This means a lot to people, guys. So take time and take it seriously, write something nice to take back.
So in mine is framed right next to the amount of money that each call should generate that is developed from the mission planning fund.
Love it. So dive on in. I'm gonna get some maybe music playing.
Maybe music?
I don't know if I know how to do that, but let's dive on in. Make sure you eat your food. Make sure you're saying something nice to people.
And you're gonna know.
Right, that's chicken wing.
Yeah, when you stand up, you're sharing.
It's on yours.
Comment.